Hey guys, I want to talk a little bit about what are you looking for when you're looking for a mate. And when I say that, I mean when you're looking for that special someone to spend the rest of your life with. That means a husband, wife, that person that you want to say I do to, jump the broom, whatever you want to call it. What are you looking for when you're looking for that particular person? That means when you have said to yourself, you know what, I'm done playing around. I'm done, just kicking it with this person, that person, the other person. I'm ready to settle down with one person. I'm ready to start a family. I'm ready to be with someone special. What do you look for when you're looking for that person? And I know a lot of people say that you're not supposed to look, and we're not talking about that right now, because that conversation is a whole nother topic in itself. But what I'm talking about is, what do you look for? What is your criteria for a mate, someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with? A lot of people will say they're looking for, physical, this, that, and the other, but it needs to go just a little bit deeper. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, for you to be with somebody that you're not attracted to, because you do. You have to be attracted to the person that you're going to marry. Okay? I'm not saying that. Some of y'all got some really crazy, outlandish, ideas of what beauty is, and I'm not going to go there. I'm on whole nother level, okay? But let me say this. I was listening to a talk radio show. I love talk radio. I don't even listen to music radio anymore. I just strictly listen to talk radio because I like to hear the opinions of different people. So I just completely now just listen to talk radio. And I was listening to this conversation that they were having, and the topic of the conversation was, what are you looking for when you're looking for a mate? And there were a lot of brothers and sisters that were calling in, that were giving some answers where I was just got away with. That's the old saying from my mother. She used to always say, when she couldn't believe that something was going on, she would just say, I was just so got away with. Well, I was listening to these brothers and sisters, and I was truly, truly, truly got away with. And I think the host was too, because he couldn't believe it, because he was even getting kind of hot under the collar, kind of like yelling pretty much at these people, because he couldn't believe some of the answers that people were giving. You had sisters that were calling in that were saying, I couldn't imagine being with someone who wasn't well traveled. I mean, I just couldn't imagine it. And I couldn't imagine with being someone who didn't have a PhD. I mean, I have a PhD. I would want someone else, that I'm going to be with, my husband, to have a PhD. I mean, I just couldn't imagine it. And heaven forbid that they, have not even graduated high school, or they don't have a G, or they have a GED. I mean, I couldn't fathom it. They'd at least need to have a PhD to be with me. Trust me, they were saying these things, okay? And it was not just one woman saying that. It was a bunch of women saying that, okay? Then you had the brothers. The brothers were calling in talking about, well, I can't be with a woman who's got bad credit. I don't want to be with a woman who's got bad credit, and I don't want to be with a woman who's, who already has a ready-made family. I mean, she's already got kids. What does that really say about her? Where are her morals? Okay, you know what? Let me put just a little sticky note there. Brothers, you can't sit up there and talk about a woman's morals because she has children already, and she had children out of wedlock. Now, I get it. Trust me, I get it. You don't want a woman with 6 kids and 8 baby daddies. And yes, I said 6 kids and 8 baby daddies. You think about what I just said. I mean, I know you don't want that, and I understand that. For those of you who don't, because I know personally a guy who dated a woman with 9 kids, and they dated for like a long time, and it was, her crazy doing that, that messed up the whole situation. But anyway. But I can understand you saying that. But for you to step there and make a judgment call on her morals or what type of woman she is because she had a child out of wedlock is ridiculous. Because the bottom line is this, is that it took 2 people to be in that bedroom. 2. The only thing is that when you got up and was able to, wash up and go away. She got up and she had a baby. She laid down with you and got back up with a baby. So don't sit up there and say that she has low morals or no morals, because this is the thing. You're both doing the same thing. The only thing is that her hand actually got caught in a cookie jar. So I hate to hear guys say that, when you want to make a judgment call on somebody's morals. You got a lot of nerve. But anywho, I digress. And again, we're not just talking about one or two people that were calling in. There were a lot of people that were calling in with the same exact criterias. Now, look, I know there are things that people cannot tolerate, like for me, I never tolerated a man that was vulgar. I cannot stand vulgarity in a man. I don't like a man that uses a lot of profanity. I don't like a man like that. That's just something for me. I don't get down like that. I want a real respectful man. Those are just things that, that are for me. Again, I had like this whole list. I think it was like 11 or 13 things at the time that I was willing to, that I wanted, that I really needed. But this is the thing about my list. It didn't have anything on it like credit, education, or anything like that. I wanted somebody that matched up with my spirit. That meant that when I am with that brother, everything in the world that you could possibly think of was right. He made me feel good. I felt good when I was with him. That's the kind of man that I wanted. I wanted someone that I could share my spiritual life with. I wanted someone that we were just completely in sync with one another. And that doesn't mean that you have to have the same likes and dislikes. No. But what that means is that when you're alone and you guys can just communicate and there's nobody but the two of you guys, you don't even have to say anything, and you guys are just that completely, totally in sync, where you're just kind of connecting. Your spirits are connecting. Your souls are connecting. I always wanted someone who could feed my soul and my spirit and my heart, and to nurture me and to respect me. It didn't matter how big his bank account was. Of course, it's always nice to have money. Hello. But I could never, at the time, I could never see not being with a man because he had, just a bachelor's degree, or, he just had a GED, or what have you, or maybe he wasn't making six figures, or maybe he wasn't driving that Benz, or maybe he didn't live in that 7-bedroom home with those 4 beautiful bathrooms, on 3 acres of land. Really, those kind of things, they're nice to have, but they're not what matters at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you got to be with somebody that's going to nurture what's inside of you. Someone who's going to understand you. Someone who is going to love you and give love to you. Be in love with you. And just accept you for who you are. No matter what you look like. Accept you. And trust me, y'all, because look. You do get to a point in the relationship when you love a person where, all those little crazy things like makeup, the hair, and faded up, and whatever you guys call it. You kind of get to a point in the relationship where you see them, and on their best, on their worst day, that they're still fine as hell to you. They are just on to you. It doesn't matter. You get to that point in the relationship where, even though that man ain't faded up, and cut it, because I like a clean cut guy. So even though the guy isn't like all that, you still look at him and think he is the sexiest man in the world. You do get to that point. I can't speak for brothers because I'm not a brother, but I can speak for me. But you guys look for someone, or allow your criteria to be about the heart, what's on the inside. Because as we all know, beauty, credit, all that stuff doesn't matter. When you get sick, and you want somebody that's gonna be there for you, that's gonna be down for you, that's gonna take you back and forth to the doctor, that's gonna love you through the pain. You want somebody that's gonna do that. And guess what? that 800 credit score, that 6-figure bank account, and that PhD ain't gonna do a damn bit of good when you on your back sick. So just think about that, y'all.